Today I'm going to be making a super pad, whatever the hell that is. It's going to be a pad that evolves a lot. It has a lot of movement. I can hold chords over time and it will just keep moving around and doing weird stuff. And I want to put a lot of work into it. This is almost like a bit of an exercise for me. I like to do these things now and then where I kind of set myself a challenge, and I do often go back to this pad one because it involves a lot of things: slow automation, melodic stuff, sound design, all that kind of stuff. And it's going to fit really well into this track which we're working on. A friend of mine, Mark, and myself are working on this, and we've been mucking around with this drop of this house tune or housey tune, and we've decided that it would sound really good having a big lush pad that just morphs over this entire phrase here. So I'll play this from, let's go back a bit. Don't pay attention to this. We're just having a little bit of fun there. Project is also a mess, so use your imagination here. Nice big lush chord that just kind of gets a bit twisty, gets a bit shifty all over the place. And I've got a few ideas that I want to explore with this, which I've never done before. So I'm actually going to save this and start a new project, because you can probably see I'm really pushing the CPU with this project. It's not often I get to that stage, but I am. So I will need to do a bit of housekeeping. I don't really want to do a massive patch design in this because it's just going to frustrate me. So I'm just creating a new project now, which is taking forever for some reason. What I want to try and do today is I want to use MPE, I'm pretty sure, and I want to have, first thing I want to do is get some notes that play randomly in a scale, and I'm not sure how I'm going to go about it, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it. So I'm going to put in a wavetable here, and let's just make sure this is working. And we're in a big open G chord at that drop. G major. The actual tune's in G minor, but when it drops it goes into G major, which is quite a nice little thing I like to do. So straight up, let's just get your basic pad. Here's our saw. Let's give it some unison. Just go for a classic 3 voices. Yep, we'll leave it on that, and I'll put in a hybrid reverb just to get a big lush sound. This unison, and I'm going to bring the amount down. It's a little bit detuned, and let's just go with, we'll go with the convolution. We'll go for big spaces. Let's see what we get. Now I want to make this sound a little bit dirty, I guess. So I'm actually going to use a random LFO, and I'm going to go into my matrix and assign that to the pitch of we'll just go the general pitch of everything. So LFO 1. So this is going to be pretty bad for now. So let's go ahead and go into that LFO, and let's change the shape a bit. Or what am I going to do here? I'll tell you what, I'm not going to use this LFO. I'm going to use a Max for Live LFO. I'm going to drop it after the wavetable. Doesn't matter where this goes. I'm going to map this to the, let's go for just the detune value here. So that's going to go just up and down by 50 cents, which is a quarter of a semitone. Or no, it's a half semitone. And let's play this. Get the transport going. Okay, we don't have anything going on here. Why not? Why are we not getting any wave shapes? Okay, this seems to have bugged out. Let's delete that. Sometimes the GUI in that doesn't work as intended. Okay, I'm just going to map this. Oh, there we go. So clicking the map brought it up again. Very good. So that's the map to the D tune. I'm going to choose random. And this is like before, but I don't want these steps, so I'm actually going to use the smooth amount. I'm going to bring it right up. So see how that kind of sways around. We could even put some jitter in there. And we can make the rate up a bit, bring the depth down a bit. So that's going to really make the pitch of that oscillator sound quite unstable. Let's bring the depth up more. Even more actually. Let's bring the smoothing down a bit. Bring the rate up faster so that see, we've kind of got the bigger wobbles of the original LFO and we've got the small ones of the jitter. So it's a little bit too much now, so let's bring the depth down and let's change the convolution algorithm. Do quite like that. I'm going to group these together into an instrument rack. So this is going to be multi-layered. So we're going to go group, and I'll call this I'll just call this main pad. Now I want to have, this is the part I'm not sure about. I want to have random notes that play. So to start off, I'm going to be using MIDI effects for this. So I'm going to put in an arpeggiator to start with. I'm going to solo this wavetable. We'll call this ARP because it's going to be kind of an ARP. Let's bring the sync down to, I'm not sure if I want this to be monophonic either, but let's bring the release down a little bit on the amp envelope. Now I want to ensure that we only play notes within the chord of G. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put in a pitch before the arpeggiator. I'm going to bring this all the way down. What this does is it kind of snaps the notes down to the very bottom value, which we're not going to be able to hear. Let's hit record and have a look at what we've got. So we're hitting, what are we hitting here? G. We actually need to. We're going to have to do this by ear. So by bringing that all the way down, whatever note I currently play, it's going to be this negative, what's at the bottom of the piano roll? We can figure this out. I should know this off by heart. C -2. So this, whatever we play is always going to be C -2. And now we can bring this up. So we could do that by bringing the pitch up in semitones. So we've got C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G. And now if I go shift up, we should go up in octaves and we should hit a higher G again. Again. Let's go one more. See how any note that I play now is going to be a G. And that's important because I'm now going to introduce a scale object after the pitch. Let's just use the good old presets. I want to go for a harmonic major, so we'll put that after the arpeggiator. So any notes that come through are now going to be, it's still just going to be G. So we need to add a random in there as well. So after the arpeggiator, I'm going to tell it to play a bunch of random notes. Maybe this pitch wasn't necessary, we'll see. But if I bring the chance up here and just hit a note, doesn't sound amazing at the moment. Let's put the scale up to 2. I need to set the bass note to G. That was important. Let's have a listen with that chord. We're getting some notes which shouldn't belong here. What have I done wrong? So we're on the bass, we're on G. Yep, G, A. Let's get rid of this. Let's just put in G. Okay, so we've got the major 7th in there. This might sound a bit better. What happens if I turn these pitches off? The scale down. Okay. Let's just go for G's. Okay, let's put in the 5th. And the 3rd. I like that one in there. Can we put it in the 2nd? No, I like that one. So now this should... What's going on here? We could also do a arpeggiato style random. And now I'm going to, so these pitches weren't actually necessary. Anyway, that's still a tip. If you ever need to have a fixed note, no matter what note you play, use 2 pitch MIDI effects, bring one all the way down, and then bring the other one up until you find the flavor that you want. Now I want to put in another LFO. I'm going to put it, where can I put it? It's going to have to go after the wavetable. It won't go well with the MIDI effects. We'll bring the wavetable down for now until we get into the design aspect. I'm going to map this to the arpeggiato speed. And I'm going to choose random again. So this is choosing a random value at the rate of 1 Hertz. I'm going to put in another LFO. And I'm going to map this to the rate value of this one and make that random also. So that kind of adds kind of a 2-tiered level of randomness to this. And now it's gonna, the arpeggiator is going to be going all different crazy speeds. Let's just change the sound to something else to distinguish it from the saw. So we've got a square. So obviously that's way too fast, so we need to bring the minimum amount of this LFO up. And I'm going to actually slow this right down. Maybe faster. And bring the depth down on this a bit. Okay, I'm going to do one more thing before I finish this video. I'm going to just add a super thick reverb, and I'm going to be using the Outer Spaces reverb, which I quite like. Where is it here? Outer Spaces. I'm going to add this after the ARP because I don't actually think I want this ARP to play notes. I want them to be so liquefied that it just kind of sounds more like an addition to the pad. Let's bring this pad sound down In fact, we could just bring the frequency down. Now let's go back in here, open this up. I'm even going to add another reverb in here. Just a regular old reverb. After this one, give it maximum dry wet. Make sure it's high quality mode. Let's bring the stereo up. I'm not sure if this does anything strange to the stereo. Do we have a stereo parameter? Pre-delay. I'll give this wavetable some unison. See if that gives us a stereo spread. That reverb's really masked it, so let's bring this down a bit. Might bring this back to a saw. It's actually a cool kind of lead. That reverb's really, really clouding it. It's also very quiet now. Okay, good progress for 17 minutes. So I've got quite a lot of the utility stuff in place of how I want this to go. I will do another layer, I think, and yeah, we haven't really gotten into the sound design yet. I've just kind of thrown reverb on everything, which does work. Anyway, I will catch you in the next one.